It's the Brain Game, a contest of knowledge and skill between 32 area high school teams. And now...
Hello again, everyone, and we welcome you aboard to first-round competition today. Our two competing schools made it to the second round last year. It takes 5 wins to become champion here on the Brain Game, and of course they're looking for win number 1. We'll meet all of our students individually a bit later on. 2 schools today, students from Perry Meridian High School, a couple of veterans there, as well as a couple of veterans on the team from Brebeuf. And that's our story. The judge for all of the answers that our students give is the Academic Dean of Indiana Central University, Dr. Carl Stockton, and he, of course, is the final authority for any of our answers that our students give. If you're all set, hands on the buzzers, and we will get underway here with our first 2-point question for you today, students. Which state was the first to ratify the U.S. Constitution? Al of Brebeuf?
Delaware.
Delaware is correct. First 2 points go to Brebeuf High School. Who were the big 3 at Yalta? David of Perry Meridian?
The United States, Great Britain, and Russia.
Okay, yes, I guess we can accept that too. Yes, Churchill, Roosevelt, and Stalin specifically. So it's 2 points to Perry Meridian. What was the name of the party which Governor George Wallace represented? First answer, Scott.
Democratic?
No. Let me complete the question here for Brebeuf. What was the name of the party which Governor George Wallace represented in the presidential campaign of 1968? Al?
The American Independent Party?
That's correct. Pick up 2 points to Brebeuf there, yes. Our first audio question, listen carefully now, if you will, to the following piece of music, and I want you to identify for me the composer, okay? Not much of that, Mark. Brebeuf?
Rossini.
Rossini is right in the William Tell Overture. 2 more points to Brebeuf on that question. Makes our score tied at 4. Listen carefully to this question, students. International Harvester recently decided to close a plant in Fort Wayne. I want you to tell me the name of Fort Wayne's mayor. Yes, Eric? Brebeuf.
Winfield Moses.
That's correct. Pick up 2 points to Brebeuf. Yes, sir. Listen carefully to this question as well. Recently, 2 hazardous waste facilities have been in the news. Near what Indiana community? Eric?
Zionsville.
Zionsville is the correct answer. 2 more points to Brebeuf. Takes our score 8-4 at this particular point. Who wrote The Hunchback of Notre Dame? Yes, Mark. Brebeuf.
Victor Hugo.
Victor Hugo is right. 2 more points to Brebeuf on that question. If you will, take a look at the monitor over to your right there. I'll ask you to study the following visual and then identify for me, if you will, not that man that's on there, but we'll get another picture here, I think, in a moment. And I want you to identify for me the style of art that is pictured there. Russ? Perry
Abstract?
Not abstract, not the term we're looking for. Brebeuf? Go ahead, Eric.
Cubism?
Cubism, that's what we're looking for. Art by Picasso, specifically. 2 more points to Brebeuf on there. For the viewers at home, that was Richard Simmons we had there just for a little while, right? Our bonus qualifying question for you now. Iceland has the world's most northern capital. What is its name? Yes, Eric, Brebeuf?
Reykjavik.
Yeah, we can accept that. Yes, that's close enough. We get the bonus. Next question, that's 2 points. Next one is available only to Brebeuf. Worth 4 points if you get it correct, okay? The 4-pointer. The sum of the weights of the component atoms of a compound is known as what kind of weight? Al?
Formula weight?
I'm going to know. Formula weight, molecular or molecular weight is really what we need, so we do not pick up on the 4-pointer there. It is 16-2 with Brebeuf in the early lead, first round competition. What type of triangle has all 3 sides equal? Russ?
Equilateral.
Equilateral is right. 2 more points to Perry Meridian. In what year did the Panama Canal open? Al, Brebeuf.
1914.
1914 is the correct answer. Yes, the formal opening was in 1920. It is 18-4, the early lead here. Brebeuf and Perry Meridian. First round competition on today's Brain Game. We'll be back and continue with our contest. First.
The Brain Game is brought to you by Pepsi-Cola, who invites you to take the Pepsi Challenge.
Coca-Cola says it's the real thing.
But Pepsi-Cola believes that when it comes to colas, the only real thing is taste. That's why the Pepsi Challenge has been asking thousands of people across the country to let their own taste decide. And the fact is, nationwide, more people prefer the taste of Pepsi over Coca-Cola. Pepsi.
Pepsi. Pepsi.
I like Pepsi a lot better.
Pepsi tastes better.
Taste, that's the real thing. So take the Pepsi Challenge and let your taste decide.
It started 6 years ago with a simple taste test. Pepsi versus Coke, the Pepsi Challenge.
Pepsi's got it.
Thousands have taken a taste test like this, and nationwide, more people prefer the taste of Pepsi over Coca-Cola.
Pepsi's got your taste for life. And you're the Pepsi generation. Come and taste it. Pepsi's got it. Pepsi's got your taste. Pepsi's got it for life.
All right, it is 16-6 is our score at this point now. Brebeuf is in the early lead. First round competition. Another 2-point question for you. In what year did the East German government erect a wall between the two zones? First answer, Eric.
1948.
No. Let me complete the question. Let me complete the question here for Perry Meridian. In what year did the East German government erect a wall between the two zones in Berlin and forbade egress on pain of death?
1947.
No, 1961, so nobody scores on that question. On which date does the fiscal year for the United States government begin? Kathy Brebeuf.
October the 1st.
October the 1st is right. 2 more points to Brebeuf. Have our first spelling word of the day. I urge you to say the word first. Once you start spelling it, you can't stop and start over again. That would be incorrect. So say the word first and do this slowly. A personal oddity or a quirk. We want you to spell the word idiosyncrasy. Yes, David of Perry Meridian.
Idiosyncrasy, I-D-I-O-S-Y-N-C-R-A-S-Y.
That is correct. 2 points to Perry Meridian on that question. Another spelling word for you. This means in the habit of joking. Spell the word facetious. David of Perry Meridian.
Facetious, F-A-C-E-T-I-O-U-S.
That is correct. 2 more points to Perry Meridian on that question. Have a multiple choice question for you. The cells of the blood which destroy bacteria in the body. Russ, first answer.
White blood cells.
White. Yes, okay. Pick up 2 points there to Perry Meridian. That is correct. Next 2-point question. Who made his formal surrender on HMS Bellerophon on July 15th, 1815? Yes, Kathy.
Napoleon.
Napoleon. That's the right answer. Brebeuf gets 2 points on that question. What was the program established after World War II to grant loans and educational benefits? Yes, Eric?
Marshall Plan.
No. Let me complete the question for Perry Meridian. What was the program established after World War II to grant loans and educational benefits to returning veterans? Nobody? Go ahead, Scott.
Veterans Aid Plan?
No, GI Bill of Rights. GI Bill of Rights. No points to either side. Where did the famous attack led by John Brown on October... Yes, first answer, Eric?
Harper's Ferry, Virginia.
That's correct, Harper's Ferry. Pick up 2 points to Brebeuf on that question. McDonald's Corporation recently went to court in an attempt to stop an advertising campaign.
Fun meal?
Pardon me?
The fun meal?
No, let me complete the question for Brebeuf. McDonald's Corporation recently went to court in an attempt to stop an advertising campaign by what competitor? Al?
Burger King.
Burger King is right. Pick up 2 points to Brebeuf on that question. It is 24-12 now. What do Ann Delaney and Stephen Goldsmith? Yes, Scott,
They're
first
running
answer.
for Marion County Prosecutor.
That is correct. Pick up 2 more points to Perry Meridian on that question. What is -10 minus -6? David of Perry Meridian.
-4.
-4. That's the correct answer. Take a look at the monitor again over to your right, if you will, students. I will ask you to solve, if you will, the following for X. Scott of Perry Meridian.
1/2.
1/2 is the correct answer. 2 points to Perry Meridian on that score. Yes. What is the highest national capital in the world? Eric Brebeuf. Boom, I'll have to call time. I have to call time on you, Eric. Perry Meridian? Nobody? Scott?
Moscow.
No, La Paz, Bolivia. Okay, no points. Here's another bonus qualifying question for you. In the play Julius Caesar by William Shakespeare, who said, Cowards die many times before their death. The valiant never taste of death but once. Yes, Mark.
Brutus?
No, not Brutus. Perry Meridian. Scott?
Caesar.
Caesar is right. Pick up 2 points there, and here's a 4-pointer available only to Perry Meridian if you get it correct. In grammar, what name is given to a group or collection of single things considered as one? Go ahead, Scott. Have to call time on you. Collective noun is what we were looking for, so do not pick up on the 4-pointer there. 2-point question available to either school. The words nightclub, cottonwood, and baseball are all nouns. Which other characteristic do they share? Yes, Mark?
Are there compound words?
Okay, that's correct. Compound words. 2 more points to Brebeuf. On October 30th, 1905, Tsar Nicholas II established a representative assembly known as what? Go ahead, Al.
The Kremlin?
No. Perry Meridian? Duma is the term we're looking for there. No points to either side. Want you to name the soldiers of Nepal who have rallied to support the British for virtually every major British military campaign in the last... Yes, David?
The Gurkhas.
Okay, that's the correct answer to Perry Meridian. 2 points there. Listen carefully, if you will. We have another piece of music. It's an American ballad, and it was written in 1863 by Stephen Foster. But what is the name of this tune? Yes, Mark, Brebeuf?
Beautiful Dreamer?
Beautiful Dreamer is absolutely correct, yes. He's kind of smiling because our producer's been whistling that all morning long and thought he would get caught in the process here. Name 5 agents of erosion. Yes, Eric Brebeuf.
Wind, water, stripping, fire, and gravity.
No. No, we cannot accept those. Okay, Perry Meridian? Anybody? Go ahead, Scott.
Wind, water, fire.
Okay, wind, water, sun, plants and ice, man, or pollution. Okay, nobody scores on either one there. Leonardo da Vinci was trained in the workshop of what other artist? Go ahead, Scott. Perry Meridian.
Van Ryn.
No. Brebeuf? Go ahead, Mark.
Rembrandt?
No, Verrocchio. No points to either side. What is the correct... this is another spelling word here. It means to make fit, adjust, or reconcile. I want you to spell the word accommodate. David at Perry Meridian.
Accommodate, A-C-C-O-M-O-D-A-T-E.
No. Brebeuf, Al?
Accommodate, A-C-C-O-M-M-O-D-A-T-E.
That is correct. Pick up 2 points to that one. Another spelling word for you. This means everywhere at the same time. Spell the word ubiquitous. Scott?
U-B-I-Q-U-I-T-O-U-S.
That is correct. 2 points to Perry Meridian on that question. Yes, sir. The Gulf of Tonkin resolution is associated with the United States and what other country? Eric Brebeuf?
China?
No, not China. Perry Meridian? Go ahead, Russ.
Japan?
Vietnam. Vietnam. No points to either side. Okay, let's just let your hands and minds all relax there for a moment. Kind of midway through first round competition today. It is a 30-point score for Brebeuf, 24 for Perry Meridian. We have a couple of minute quizzes coming up here too, so a lot can happen before that final buzzer. Before we move on though, let's find out a little bit about our students. From Perry Meridian, they have 2 faculty advisors to their brain game team, David Moulton and Joanne Brown. The principal is Mr. James Head. Russ, we'll begin with you. Your full name, grade, and what your future plans are.
My name is Russ Clark. I'm a junior at Perry Meridian, and I plan to go to Purdue University and major in petroleum engineering.
Okay. David?
My name's David Wright. I'm a senior at Perry Meridian. I plan to go to Purdue also and major in chemical engineering. I'd like to thank our 2 sponsors, Mr. Moulton and Mrs. Brown.
All right. Scott?
I'm Scott Shover, and I'm a senior at Perry Meridian. I'd like to major in math in an as-yet undecided college, and I'd like to thank our alternates, Tom Chow, Rick Burgett, and Doug Padgett.
All right. Lori?
My name is Lori Ritterskamp. I'm a junior at Perry, and I still haven't decided on a career or a college. And I'd also like to thank our officers, Tanya Hazelwood as Secretary Treasurer, Jeff Coleman as Vice President, and Scott Shover as President.
Okay, and we wish you all well in your future endeavors. The students from Brebeuf High School, Father Bernard Noth is the principal there, the faculty advisors to the brain game team, Claire Baker and William Barron. And Mark, we'll begin with you, please.
My name is Mark Graham, a junior at Brebeuf. I'd like to attend the University of Southern California and study filmmaking. And I'd also like to thank our sponsors, Claire Baker and William Barron.
All right. Eric?
My name is Eric Bodie. I'm a junior at Brebeuf. I'd like to study architecture at Stanford, and I'd like to thank our alternates, John Hatfield and Mark Vincent.
Okay, and Al?
My name is Al Witz. I'm a junior at Brebeuf, and I would like to major in mathematics at an undetermined college.
Okay, Kathy?
My name is Kathy Pappas. I'm a junior at Brebeuf, and I'd like to study foreign language and creative writing at Georgetown University.
Okay, we wish you well in your future endeavors as well. Well, we have kind of a close contest here. We're going to decide in the next half hour which team will move on to second round competition of the brain game. We'll continue, but first we'd like you to watch this for Pepsi-Cola.
It started 6 years ago with a simple taste test. Pepsi versus Coke, the Pepsi Challenge.
Pepsi's got it.
Thousands have taken a taste test like this, and nationwide, more people prefer the taste of Pepsi over Coca-Cola.
Pepsi's got your taste for life. You're the Pepsi generation. Come and taste it. Pepsi's got it. Pepsi's got your taste. Pepsi's got it for life. Come and taste it.
It started 6 years ago with a simple taste test. Pepsi versus Coke, the Pepsi Challenge.
Pepsi's got it.
Thousands have taken a taste test like this, and nationwide, more people prefer the taste of Pepsi over Coca-Cola.
Pepsi's got your taste for life. You're the Pepsi generation. Come and taste it. Pepsi's got it. Pepsi's got your taste. Pepsi's got it for life.
Well, as we move on toward that final buzzer, we have minute quizzes coming up. We have a special 6-point Dean's quiz question, so a lot can happen here in the next few minutes. All set, hands on the buzzers again. To what party did Lincoln belong? Yes, Scott, Perry, Meridian.
Republican.
Republican is right. Pick up 2 points there to Perry, Meridian. What is the natural logarithm of E? Yes, Scott, Perry?
2.1.
No. Al?
1.
1 is the correct answer. 2 points to Brebeuf. What famous novel ends with the lines, "'Tis a far, far better thing I do than I have ever done before"? Anybody on either side? Nobody. A Tale of Two Cities, Charles Dickens. No points. Want you to name the naval battle in 1571 in which Christian forces defeated the Turks off the coast of Greece. Go ahead, Scott.
Second Crusade.
No. Brebeuf. Nobody. Lepanto. No points to either side. Name the Argentinian leader who fell from power in First answer, Scott. I'll have to call time. Let me complete the question here for Brebeuf, and then you can take a shot at it. Name the Argentinian leader who fell from power in 1955, went into exile. He returned in 1972 and was elected president. Okay, Kathy?
Juan Perón.
Perón is right. 2 points to Brebeuf on that question. Here's a bonus qualifier for you. Atoms of the same atomic number. First answer, Scott?
Isotopes.
Isotopes is the answer we're looking for. 2 points there. Next question's worth 4 points if you get it correct, students. Listen carefully. Only Perry Meridian students on this one. Who is the American author credited with inventing the detective story? Yes, Russ.
Poe.
Poe is right. Edgar Allan Poe. Pick up 4 points on that particular question. Is that minute quiz time? Yeah. Is that already? Okay, well, it is 34-28, and by virtue of their lead here, Brebeuf, you have, yes, it is 34-32. We're all set now? Okay. By virtue of their lead, then, Brebeuf, you can select
packet B.
Packet B, I assume, for Brebeuf. What happens here, we read as many questions as we can within 60 seconds, accepting answers only from Eric. And Eric, either an answer or the word pass before we move on to the next question, and give your teammates time to feed answers to you, if you will, along the way, all right? If you are all set at Brebeuf, then Here is your first minute quiz question. In which war did the charge of the Light Brigade occur?
Crimean War.
Who wrote A Man Without a Country?
Pass.
In what year did the Vietnam War end?
1975.
Name the first American to make a spacewalk.
Glenn.
A map line connecting places of equal atmospheric pressure. A male cat is called what?
Tom.
Tomcat.
Name the ex-Nicaraguan president who was assassinated in 1981.
Somoza.
In which country is Mount Kilimanjaro located?
Tanzania.
Who was Hamlet's uncle?
Pass.
Name the Dutch painter who cut off his ear.
Van Gogh.
Which American classic is subtitled Life in the Woods?
Pass.
In what year did Adolf Hitler become Chancellor of Germany?
1938.
Who was President Ford's vice president?
Rockefeller.
Rockefeller.
What city is known as the Crescent City? You can still answer that one.
Monte Carlo.
Monte Carlo.
Okay, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I had 7, 8 correct answers? Or 7? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, 7 correct answers. Brebeuf adds 14 points to their score on the minute quiz. And David, he is to be the man of the hour at Perry Meridian. Same situation, David. Let your teammates feed answers to you, if you will. And we accept either an answer or the word pass before I move on to the next question. Okay, are you all set at Perry Meridian? All right, here then is your first minute quiz question. Name Columbus's first landfall.
Pass.
Who designed the first geodesic dome?
Fuller.
In what year did the Treaty of Paris end the American War of Independence?
1783.
What was the name of America's first Earth-orbiting space station?
Skylab.
A device to change the voltage of alternating currents is what?
Adapter.
Name the animal that is armed with bony plates and rolls up into a ball if frightened.
Armadillo.
In what country would one find the city of Nairobi?
Africa.
In 1973, author Eudora Welty won the Pulitzer Prize for what book?
Pass.
In World War II, who was known as the Desert Fox?
Rommel.
Name the first black Supreme Court justice.
Thurgood Marshall.
In what year was the Battle of Waterloo waged?
1815.
Name the only vice president elected to the presidency years after his vice presidential term.
Nixon.
Okay, and 8 correct answers to your score. So they add 16 points to their score, and we put them both together, and we stand now at a 48-46 score. That is correct. All right, time remaining here, students. Hands on the buzzers, 2-point question. Due to recent heavy rains, there was about a $200 million loss of raisins in what state? Yes, Eric?
California.
California is correct. 2 points to Brebeuf. Name the former governor and presidential nominee who recently won the Democratic runoff for governor in his home state. Scott, first answer.
Wallace.
Wallace is correct. 2 points to Perry Meridian. A tax which imposes a higher percentage rate of taxation on, yes. David?
Graduated.
Pardon me?
Graduated.
Can we accept graduated? No, we cannot accept graduated. Brebeuf, a tax which imposes a higher percentage rate of taxation on low incomes rather than on high incomes is called what? Okay, go ahead, Kathy.
Regressive.
Regressive, that is correct. Pick up 2 points there. It is time for the Dean's question. This is worth 6 points on this particular question, students. Listen carefully. Want you to name the greatest Amorite king of Babylon who completed the conquest of all Mesopotamia. First answer, Eric?
Nebuchadnezzar.
No. Let me complete it here for Perry Meridian. Name the greatest Amorite king of Babylon who completed the conquest of all Mesopotamia by 1700 BC. Anybody? Hammurabi is the answer we're looking for. Nobody picks up on the Dean's question. 2-pointer. What is the chief cause of ocean tides? Yes, David of Perry Meridian.
Gravitational pull of the moon.
Okay, that is correct. 2 points there. What is the name given to a sentence formed by 2 or more clauses of yes, Russ?
Complex sentence.
Not complex, no. Go ahead, Eric.
Compound sentence.
Compound, that's what we need. 2 points there. What is the future perfect tense of the verb I tell? David, Perry Meridian.
I will tell.
No. Rebuff, Al?
I will have told.
No, I shall have told. No points to either side. Take a look over to your right, if you will. Carefully study the following picture and then identify for me, if you will, the artist. We want the name of the artist. It's Al of Rebuff.
Van Gogh.
Not Van Gogh. Perry Meridian. All right, Russ?
Da Vinci.
No, Cezanne. No points to either side. Name the planet nearest the sun. David? Perry.
Mercury.
Mercury is correct. 2 points there. Who founded the Church of Christ Scientists? Yes, Scott. Perry Meridian.
L. Ron Hubbard.
No. Rebuff. Mary Baker Eddy. No points to either side. In trigonometry, what is the inverse of cosine? Kathy. Rebuff.
Cosine. 1 over secant. Or secant.
1 over secant was your first answer. Can we accept that? We can accept that. Okay, so we pick up 2 points there. 2 points to Rebuff on that question. What is the slope of a line whose equation is 2x minus 3y equals, yes, Scott?
2/3.
2/3 is correct. Pick up 2 points there. The Physician's Tale is a part of what longer British poetic work? Yes, Mark?
The Canterbury Tales?
Canterbury Tales is correct. 2 points to Rebuff. That is our final buzzer. We'll validate our scores, and we will be back in just a moment.
Coca-Cola says it's the real thing. But Pepsi-Cola believes that when it comes to colas, the only real thing is taste. That's why the Pepsi Challenge has been asking thousands of people across the country to let their own taste decide. And the fact is, nationwide, more people prefer the taste of Pepsi over Coca-Cola. Pepsi.
Pepsi. Pepsi.
I like Pepsi a lot better.
Pepsi tastes better.
Taste, that's the real thing. So take the Pepsi Challenge and let your taste decide.
It started 6 years ago with a simple taste test. Pepsi versus Coke, the Pepsi Challenge.
Pepsi's got it.
Thousands have taken a taste test like this, and nationwide, more people prefer the taste of Pepsi over Coca-Cola.
Pepsi's got your taste for life. And you're the Pepsi generation. Come and taste it. Pepsi's got it. Pepsi's got your taste. Pepsi's got it for life.
The Brain Game has been brought to you by Pepsi-Cola, who invites you to take the Pepsi Challenge.
We, of course, are going to have a quick sudden death playoff here. The question in trigonometry, what is the inverse of cosecant? Kathy of Rebuff answered 1 over secant. That was disallowed. The answer simply is secant. So our score is tied at 56. We'll determine the winner on our next question, sudden death worth 2 points. In the presidential election of 1872, Ulysses S. Grant defeated the founder of the New York Tribune. Who was he? Al Rebuff?
Grover Cleveland.
No. Perry Meridian? David?
Hearst.
Pardon me?
Hearst.
Not Hearst. Another question. What Verdi opera is based on a play by Victor Hugo? Scott? Time. Rebuff? Go ahead, Eric.
Phantom of the Opera?
No. According to Greek mythology, who was responsible for changing Medusa's hair into serpents? Russ?
The Three Blind Witches?
No. Rebuff? Eric?
Jason?
No. Next question. What constitutes the largest single group of the animal kingdom? Russ?
Mammals?
No. Eric?
Insects?
No, that's not the answer we're looking for. What do the initials DNA stand for? Kathy of Rebuff.
Deoxyribonucleic acid.
That is it. 2 points. Rebuff wins. That's our final score. If you thought this was exciting, wait till next week. It's Perry Meridian. Or no, it's Park Tudor and North Central. Thanks to Perry Meridian. Congratulations to Rebuff. See you next week.
Stay tuned next for a special look at juvenile justice on The Law Works, followed by Indiana Illustrated, right here on Channel 13. Rape is an act of violence. Take action. Attend the Take Back the Night rally in March, October 10th on Monument Circle, beginning at 6 p.m.